Without his knowing, involuntarily, the breathing and breathing in and breathing out in a equal fashion, without any gasping, without panting, without any pressure. He simply silently, that without your being able to notice whether breathing in and breathing out is taking place or not, he is alive. That very fact shows that he is alive. That very fact is conclusively proved that there is breathing going on. But it is going on at such a level that it is indecipherable and it is so unpronounced that you cannot notice that actually he is breathing in. But it is going on in such a level that you cannot notice. The contractions and the expansions on the body level are not noticeable. That is the problem. So he looks like as if he is a still person, like a stone he sits while in samadhi. It is at that time, what is the position here? That is, he is under the influence, samana vayu, you see, in this case. That is the position. So samana is the outer akasha, where air is not there. And air there is the dhyana vayu inside. And finally, udana is the temperature which functions as an anchorage to the ship in the harbor. I told you that example. And as long as udana vayu is there, temperature is there, the whole life is principle is there, prana is there. And at the time of death, the prana becomes, that temperature, it just goes. When it goes, what happens? All the 27 elements in the body called subtle body, they also leave with that. How it happens? This is a graphic description of the death, is actually given in Brahma Sutra, in Chandogya Upanishad, and also in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. What happens is, all the indriyas, first of all, all the sense organs, their vritti, their potency to function, they just merge in the mind. And then all the sense organs of cognition, well, those also first of all merge in the mind. So at that stage, the eye cannot, although eye is open, the eye is not seen. But the mind is alive. The mind is not yet absorbed or sucked in by the prana. And at that time, he is noticing and he is becoming conscious of who has come and who is sitting around him. But he is not able to express, yes, I have seen you, I am very glad you have come. This sort of expressions are not possible. But he is not dead at the same time. So, that is the position. That is the second stage. Third stage is, the mind also is absorbed by prana. That is the third stage. At that time, what happens? He is not, no responses are there. No movements are there. The prana has already moved out of the different junctions of the body and they have been completely, all the pranas have come, the mind, the sense organs, the organs of cognition, the organs of action, they have all gone merged in the mind. The mind is sucked up and sucked into by prana, and prana, apana, prana also, completely the eyes are not moving, the nostrils are not moving, nothing is happening, so prana has gone. And apana, digestive system, even your Kosi water is poured, nobody is there to receive, so water comes out. But he is not dead, and so he is at that state. So apana is not functioning, digestive system is not functioning. Then samana, slight breathing in is there, because the doctors have not declared that he is dead, because there is temperature is there. And so they say, no, he is in a very coma state, the body is, he is not yet dead, like that they will be pronounced. And that is the state. Udana, when this udana vayu means the temperature is the only sign of life at that time. Udana vayu's presence is the only thing. All the faculties got merged in mind, mind merged in prana, prana became apana, apana, vyana, samana and prana. All the four pranas merged in udana. And that udana only is there and kshetrajna, the entity is there. And at that final stage, the udana merges in the prana merges in the udana. Udana means that the temperature, the tejas, the fire content of it, and that finally it takes up. Utkaniti means utkaniti means it goes beyond this body. Like an aeroplane taking off from the airport. And when aeroplane takes off, how long you will be visible? It will be visible. The moment it goes into the sky higher up, then it just becomes invisible. Similarly, the prana also, from the different junctions, etc., it just takes off and it's an upward flight beyond the body, where it just goes to, in the case of a man who has lived a life of devotion, meditation, charity, and other virtuous life he had led. But for such a man, the prana goes through the Sushumna. Sushumna. Udana Vayu is functioning in the backbone spine. It is called Sushumna Nadi. Alongside the backbone, you have got two nadis. One is Pingala, the other is Pingala Nadi is there. Sushumna Nadi in the Yada is there. Yada, Pingala. And through the spine, a invisible column is there. And its breadth is, its radius, the diameter is thinner than that of a hair. And through that, this Udana Vayu is passing. And that is what it just leaves the Muladhara Chakra. Finally, it goes to the Swatisthana. It leaves the Swatisthana to Manipura. From Manipura, it goes to Anahata. From Anahata, it goes to Agnya Chakra, Vishuddhi Chakra. From Vishuddha to Agnya Chakra. From Agnya Chakra to Sahasrara. And from Sahasrara, there is a hole here. And a man who is continuously throughout his life, for years and years, the consistent yogic abhyasa practice is there, and he is concentrating his mind and all senses, he has concentrated here, and there becomes a hole which is there, congenital hole is there, and that hole becomes more and more prominent, and there, finally, when the temperature goes out, that is the final somatic death. This body died. But it is not that the man died. There is a life persists even after the death of the body. That is a very important point to be noted. It is at that time what happens. Yatchittaha tena yesha pranamayati. How what happens, what will be the type of the body that we will get after the time or after this death. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Paramatma has said in the 8th chapter, Akshara Brahma Yoga, 5th verse and 6th verse in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, very important. What is Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalebaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayaha. Oh Arjuna, please understand, there is no doubt at all. He who thinks of me while leaving this body, he comes to me, and there is no doubt about it. You need not entertain any further doubt about it. At the time of death, that is the last prayer. You know, even in the case of hanging cases, government gives permission. You now last desire, you just desire. Thereafter there is no time at all. At that time also, if you think of God, there is a hope. But then there is a yam yam va vismaran bhavam, 6th verse. Yam yam va vismaran bhavam tyajati ante kalebaram tamtameva kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Arjuna is, Krishna is further telling, elaborating that very point. Yam yam va vismaran bhavam. Everybody is not possible to think of God at that time. So here, whatever you think at that time, a body suitable for that idea to materialize, to concretize itself, that body, such a body you will get. So Paramatma said, well, Arjuna probably had entertained a doubt at that time, but he had not dared to mention that to Krishna. He said that why the hell I should bother now from now on. So Krishna is telling, Krishna is Tatma, Sarveshu Kaleshu Mamanusmara Yutyacha. Now you have to start, the secret of thinking then is, it must become a habit with you. Otherwise, accidentally you cannot think of God at that time. It just cannot be possible. So, start from now onwards, Tasmat, because of this reason, if you want to, you should become God. If man wants to become God, man must keep on thinking of God. When? Sarveshu Kaleshu, every second of his existence. Till it becomes a nature. Tasmat, because of this reason, Sarveshu Kaleshu, every second of your life, Mam Anusmara. Anusmara, Smara means remember. Anusmara means the continuity is indicated there. Continuously you must think of me, remember me. Mam Anusmara Yudhyecha, you battle through life all right. But always be conscious of that. Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has given a supreme example in this context. How? A maidservant is working in your house. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has given this very wonderful example. While working in your house, her mind is not in this house. Her mind is always in her house. What is happening there, whether that fellow, her husband, has gone to office or not. See, we call mercenaries, we call, although many cases what happens, we are in the office, but our mind is in the house. That happens to us also. Unless there are dedicated workers are there. But seldom we see such people. Seldom we see such people. There is no dedication. There is like that. Then what happens? They are thinking of that. So, even when you are here, another example Ramakrishna had given. The hen that is hatching her eggs, it is sitting, the hen is sitting on the eggs which it has laid. And it just goes upon the eggs and it sits there. And sits and completely covering the eggs. External world, anywhere you see, from any angle you see, you don't see the presence of the eggs. But it is sitting all right. There is no harm. For 21 days it goes on sitting. And because of that heat, what is happening? The eggs are getting hatched. And it is the time the egg, actually the hen knows when to get up from this thing. And it gets up. And the chickens come out. What a wonderful thing it is. Its mind it is looking, blinking only into the outer world. But its mind is fully sees, the hen is conscious of what is happening to the eggs below. It is moving this side and that side, what is happening, because a dog may come, a cat may come, a wolf may come. All the external dangers are there, the hen is quite conscious. That is why it is moving, there is no danger at all to me. And then at that time, where the mind is? The mind is on the eggs. So this is these two examples you kindly keep in mind. Tasmat, Krishna Paramatma is telling, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, for all the moments of your life, you have to think of God. Anusmara. Smara means remember. Occasional remembrance is smarana. Only on nimittas and naimittikas, on some occasions Vinayaka Chaudhary is coming, Ganapati Chaudhary is coming, you think of Ganapati. That's all. Thereafter for 1 year you can, all right, let him be peaceful, I will be peaceful. That is very attitude. We don't disturb God. And our attitude is God also will not disturb us. This is the idea. That is the idea. Normally that happens. For 1 year you tell him, you lift the statue, you don't want that to remain in our house. And that happens immediately after the puja, we don't lose time at all. That is what our anxiety is, he must be dispatched at the speediest possible time from the house. Ignorance has no limit also. Wisdom has no limit, ignorance has no limit. Foolery has no limit also, I tell you. These people, they remove the statue, the murti which they worship, they throw into the water. That we should not further see that. They dispatch. And then they will settle down to normal work. Now it is a big riddance to all the trouble is over now. We need not think of for 1 year he will not trouble us. That is the attitude. But the scriptures do not say that. Krishna is telling. These two verses you please remember. 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 5th and 6th. Yam yam apismaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tameva iti kaunteya sada sadbhava bhavataha. Then 7th verse. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. You go on and engaging yourself in your life's activities. But internally be conscious of my presence. That is very, very, very important discipline which we come across in the having been prescribed by Krishna to Arjuna and through Arjuna to every one of us. That is important. So if we don't think what will happen, if one thinks what happens to such a holy person, to such a man, he is supposed to be a yogi, a jnani, he has understood the reality, and he has exactly understood what is his real self, essential self, and he has already realized that it is na jayate, no mriyate, na vartate, na kshiyate, no vikaroti, nityaha, it is eternal in this mortal frame, that is immortal. Body is decaying, whereas the self knows no decay. Body is born, well it is birthless, it is deathless, it is decayless, it is diseaseless, it is changeless, it is sinless. On this there is no doubt. Such is the firm conviction with this man of realization, man of wisdom, man of profundity. So such a man, when he goes, when he dies, what happens? This, through the Pingala, through this Ida and Pingala which are moving downwards, the Sushumna is moving upwards. And through that, leaving all the chakras, the centers of activity, and finally it is a royal passage, the secret passage. Raho Yaga Karama. That order in which the prana leaves the body is Karama, that order. Raha, that secret, very secret part. Secretly it is moving. And he is not available for talk at that moment. He says, now don't disturb me, I am just departing. Another 10 minutes I will go like that. Many, many holy souls, we hear the stories about such people. You please don't disturb. Within 10 minutes the body falls down. And then he goes into meditation. At that time what happens? Secretly the body is moving. All the sense organs merged in the mind merged in the prana, prana with the prana, all other four pranas merged, and all those things have become Udana, and the Udana got into that. It's a secret route. Raja Vidya, Raja Marga, Margo, Neyo, Nayonayaha, Vishnu Sahasranama, Margo. That secret path is also myself. So he is a Sushumna. He goes into that state. And the Udana leads through this marga. It is Sahasrara Chakra. Yati, Sahasradhara Padmastha, Sarvavarnopashobhita, Sarvaidhadhara, Shukra Samsthita, Sarvatomkhi, Sarvodana Prita Chitta, Yakini Ambaswarupini. That Paramatma, that supreme power, is called Yakini here. Why Yakini? Yati, Gachati. It is the place for departure. Yati means departure. Sakini in Muladhara is Sa. Sa is the name of Bhudevi. The earthly existence, it remains. It is there. Muladhara. Kakini completely Jala body. That is only water will be there in Swasthana. Manipura is full of fire, the three elements. Vadanatraya Sanyuta. So like this, the prana goes. And when it goes, what is the position? Such a holy person, his mind is fixed in the self. And so that self is the Supreme Paramatma, the Prana Shakti, the Mahatattva, the Sutratma, who is called Apara Brahma, Akarya Brahma, that is the He is the Karta actually. He created the whole universe. He created every body of ours. He is silently, the mother's prana only, is creating the prana of the child in the belly. Is it not? No other person is creating. So this prana is called Brahma. The prana is the Karta. He is the doer. He only creates the body. It is he who takes the food. It is he who builds the body. It is he who is to preside over this body. So in this prana, there are two elements, not air only. Air is there and Jnana is there. These are the two. Kriya Shakti is there, Jnana Shakti is there. These two combinations, Samahara Rupa means combination. These two are entwined. Two in one. Air and Kriya Shakti. Air is Kriya Shakti and Jnana is Jnana Shakti. The wisdom. These two are combined. So the mind and prana are like threads and the garment. They are two, but they are not two. Garment is one. There only threads are there. Garment as such, there is no separate entity. Threads only arranged in a particular pattern, so close to each other, well it looks like a cloth. Actually cloth and threads, there are not two things. Similarly, prana and mind are not two things. But are they not two things? They are really two things. Because we see threads separately, we see cloth also separately. In cloth it is two in one. In prana, in threads, it is actually one only. So there is mind, there is prana. When the prana and mind are there in the waking state, they are two in one. But when the mind goes to sleep in our deep sleep state, well, prana remains alone. Like threads only remains. Before cloth is manufactured, threads are there, is it not, sir? So we have to think on those lines. It is not a two in one. It is in our waking state when the mind and prana are both functioning, when you are thinking, when you are doing activities, when you are seeing, thinking, deciding, judging things, sensing things, active moving, running, sitting, jumping, hopping, any activity, eating, seeing, talking, all these things, there is a mind behind it. And prana is there, without it a live body only can work. A dead body cannot engage itself in any action. So prana is there, mind is there. But how they are there? Like a thread and the cloth. They are two in one. But in sleep, no such activity is possible. He is not eating. He is not seeing. He is not running. He is not doing any work. But he is alive. Prana is there. Mind, what happened? Mind merged itself somewhere, it has gone. That comes in the 4th chapter. Yat chittaha, so here this mantra is, please repeat. Yat chittaha tena yeshaha pranam ayati pranaha tejasa yuktaha atmana yatha sankalpitam lokam nayati yajjittaha tena yeshaha pranam ayati pranaha tejasa yuktaha atmana yatha sankalpitam lokam nayati. This is a very important verse. This verse is giving a graphic description of what happens at the time of death. I explained to you. Yat chittaha. Yat chittaha means, chitta means mind. What you remember. The memory center is called chitta. That is why we use it to write, old people use it to write applications. Divya chitta manaku tevalenu we use it to say. Means we just write a letter, we just forward an application to a higher person, officer. And we appeal to him, kindly remember me on such and such date. We met. Through this letter we will remember. Kindly remember me. So there the word used is not mind. Divya manasuku tevalenu is not that said. It is divya chitta manaku tevalenu. Divya chitta means the memory center. Very important point there. Memory center. That is when you are sitting for prayer, I am telling you how to decipher, how to identify the memory center. It is in a Shiva temple, the place of Nandi is the memory center, Chitta, in this temple. Bring into your mind now the temple, Shiva temple. Where is Nandi station? Where is Nandi station? And between Nandi and Shiva, there is no other entity. But before reaching Nandi, there are any number of things to see. You pass beyond so many things. First you have to cross the Rajgopura, enter into the temple, then you make circumambulations, then cross the Dhwajastambha, then reach the Balipitha, cross the Balipitha, go into that inner Mantapam, and then cross a few steps, then you come across a hundi, a very inconvenient thing. Then cross the hundi, and finally, after hundi, Nandi comes. And there in that Nandi, you have, at that time, what is that? Is Nandi seeing you?
No, he's seeing you.
Nandi is seeing Shiva only. You see, there is a very important point. Our rishis have taken this Brahma Vidya propagation, they have adopted the method of audio-visual propaganda. The system is one of the TV. The scriptures are talking, the temples are showing. What the scripture is talking to us, the temple is showing to us. So they adopted that very thing. What is inner this body is nothing but the temple there. God constructed this temple, and we constructed, following the same pattern, we constructed that temple. So in the case of a man of wisdom, what is the memory center? He is remembering. Memory center is used for remembering things. So that he is remembering, what is that remembering? He is remembering always God. Continuously. How to demonstrate that fact? Kindly see the position of Nandi in a Shiva temple. Nandi, is he worried really about how many people are coming? Who has come? Who is going? Is there any worry on the part of the Nandi? No. Then what is the only worry? No worry at all. Unconcerned with what is happening around the temple or inside the temple or outside the temple. It is a fixed, its attention is completely fixed on Shiva. That is how we have to learn. Any number of scriptures you will not understand the position. Once you go into the temple, you understand the reality about it. So your memory center is Chitta. And that Chitta in this temple, Devalaya Prokta. This is Devalaya, this is a temple, human temple. And in this, the memory center occupies the same place as Nandi occupies in the temple. And that memory center, it has two sides, is it not so? Like the two sides of the kite. That side means you are in contact, you remember God. You forget God, you remember world. That's all. You cannot remember two things. It is like the two sides of the kite. When you see rupee, you see that carving something like that on that, and the other side you don't see. When you walk the other side, you cannot see unless you forget about this side. So Nandi also is in that very position. If you remember God, you will not remember world. If you remember Jala, as long as you remember world, you can never bring into memory the God. Please keep in mind that thing. Yat chittaha tena yesha ayati. Now till the mind merges in that, mind occupies the place of Vidram, avoiding over this prana shakti which is movement inside the body. And so he is like the owner in the car, riding in the car. Car really does not know where you want to go. And the man who is sitting in the car gives direction as if he gives direction to the car. He watches. And he just gives, now he tells the driver, you take me such and such place. And then what the owner saying or does? The owner simply sits and relaxes. He does any job except driving. Is it not so? Same thing in this body also. You tell the driver, okay. Now the mind is like a driver, he is the owner. Yajamanaha, manohabhava yajamanaha. What the yajamani does? He is sitting in the car. This is the chariot. This is the car. And the driver is there. And the driver is given the direction. Now think of God. I am thinking of God. You please take me to God. That's all. And who at that time, please remember, it is a very important topic. You give direction to that Kriya Shakti Vayu. In Vishnu Sahasranama there is a name, Vayu Vahanaha. Vayu Vahanaha means the carrier of yourself to God. Vayu becomes Vahana. Your prana is your vehicle. It carries you. Yachitaha, what direction you have given it to it? You communicate to prana. And what is prana? Prana is your vehicle. Where it carries you? It carries you from this world, from the terrestrial to the celestial, from Bhuloka to Suvarloka, the Satyaloka. Bhuvaha Swaha, Maha Janaha, Tapaha, Satya, the seventh loka. Satya is Atha Paramatma. He is so close. How close he is to the Supreme? Well, there is no example. How close means it is the ghost, how close the ghost is to the post. In Brahma Sutra that example is given. Viseshi Tattva to Samipya to Tadvyapadesha. You go to Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is part of the manifest universe. But the manifest and unmanifest Paramatma is there. And he is not concerned with what is happening. He is Sakshat like a Shivalinga. In the Shivalinga means the Shiva part of it is the Linga which protrudes outside the Pitha. The Pitha is the world, the manifest universe. There also Shiva is there. But Shiva is beyond the universe also. Without the universe being there, he is there. In his Kevala state, he is there. In his absolute state, he is there. In his transcendental state, he is there. Sabhumim Vishpato Vrutva Atyadisthaddashangulam. He is completely, he pervaded the manifest universe, and yet he transcends that universe. How? As if he has transcended by 10 inches. That 10 is a figurative expression. But actually he transcends that all. How he transcends? As the mirror transcends the reflections appearing in that. The reflections are appearing in the mirror, is it not so? But mirror has nothing to do with the reflections here. Similarly, Paramatma is there in the world, but yet he has nothing to do with the world's happenings. He is there. He is the snake is not worried, the rope is not worried about the presence, the appearance or disappearance of the snake. How is the rope? The rope is like a Shiva is there in reference to the world. Just remember, these are the examples. Only with the Drishtantena Punah Punah, only with the examples you have to understand this subtle Brahma Vidya. Drishtantena Punah Punah, very difficult to understand this Adhyatma Vidya. Sukshmatvat Bhagavijnayam, the science is so subtle. That is why you cannot catch it or grasp it or apprehend it. Manavavacham agocharam. For speech you cannot, by speech you just cannot understand. By your mind cannot approach that. Natatra chakshur gacchati, your eye cannot go. Your mind cannot go. Nothing. Then only Paramatma is there, transcending everything. And he is Kevala state. How he is there? As the rope is there, as the screen is there in the picture. The screen has nothing to do with the pictures appearing in that. But behind the picture, when the pictures only are visible, the screen is not visible. But the screen is there or not? In the screen is there any picture? No. But is there no picture? Is there any picture without the screen? Screen is removed. Can you see picture? You cannot see. But in the screen is there any picture? Without the screen is there any picture? No. So without God, without Shiva, there is no universe. But in Shiva, there is no universe. Just like in current there is no light. But without current there is no light. These are all the various examples by which we have to understand this Atma Tattva, Purusha Sukta. It refers to this position in the very first mantra. Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva. The entire universe, Vishwataha, from every direction, everywhere, Paramatma occupied, permeated. But how is he? Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva Asti Atisthati. He transcends that. Dajangulam, as if he has nothing to do with that. Dajangulam is a representative expression. It is just to communicate to an infant. By 10 inches he is away. He is not 10 inches away. He is there and yet. So that is why there is an expression like this thing. God is immanent as well as transcendental. God is immanent. Sabhunam Vishwata Vrutva, having a permeated and pervaded, Isharavasimadagam Sarvam, everywhere he permeated. But nowhere he is there, he is beyond it all. That position our sages have created. Great concept. That is Shivalinga concept. Very great concept. The Purusha Sukta first sentence explains the concept of Shivalinga. What is the Pitha and Shiva? And that Shiva. You do Abhisheka not on the Pitha, but you do on the Linga. Is it not so? What is most important there? Is the Linga or the Pitha? The Linga. Now Linga is, what is Pitha then? The Pitha is the universe, manifest universe, pluralistic universe, multitudinous universe. The created universe, the visible universe of names, forms and actions and vibrations. And what is the Shivalinga? It is there inside. It is not just hanging there only. It is fixed inside. It is there in it, and it is a transcendence. It's a meaning, Shivalinga meaning, our rishis, I do not know which rishi discovered. It is a profound discovery to explain this Paramatma Tattva. Shiva is immanent in the period. The Pitha is completely Somapitha. Somapitha, why Soma? It is a Sa Uma. That is along with this Kriya Shakti. Uma means Avidya. Uma means Parvati, Durga, Bhavani, Avidya, Jagadhatri, Lalita, Bhavani. She has become the whole universe. He is along with his concept, he is there. Means along with his Kriya Shakti, Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Swarupa, he is there. The whole universe is there. Prithvivanam. The whole universe, Soma means Annam. The whole universe is food. Snakes live on Akasha, space. There are so many things. Akasha is a food. There are air is a food. Air is food for us. Water is food. Fire is food. We don't eat fire as such. but we eat ghee. And ghee is Ghrutam mimikhile, Ghrutamasya jode, Ghrute shrita, Ghrutamuvasya dhama. In Veda it is said, Ghrute shritaha, there is fire, fire is in the ghee. That is why when you are doing oblations, offering oblations in the Homakunda, you are pouring ghee, not sand. For the fire to be kindled. It's all ghee. And ghee is nothing but fire. So when we eat ghee, actually our speech increases. Why? Fire is the presiding power. Fire is the presiding power of our speech. So you must take, you should not discard the ghee altogether. You must take in reasonable quantities ghee. And it is also, it helps in the bone formation. It's a grossest modification of ghee and other oily substances which you eat. The grossest expression is the bone. And the finer expression of it is the marrow in the bone. And the finest expression of the oils which we consume is the speech. And other solids we eat, the finest expression is your mind. The grossest expression is the mala, excreta which you throw out. And the final expression is the flesh, the mamsa. The other liquids we drink, isn't it? Now our food consists of these things. Oils, liquids and solids. And solids are, the finest expression of the solids, I told you, is the mind. The final expression of it is flesh, the mamsa. The grossest expression is useless to be thrown out. Liquids also, the finest expression goes to contribute to preserve the prana here. The final expression of it is blood. And the grossest expression is the mutra which is to be thrown out. This is incidentally I am telling. So here, yachittaha tena is in a car which is the yajamani, the owner of the car, the driver is there. The driver is here in this body, in the context of death, in the context of journey beyond the body, at the end of the experiences scheduled for this body. Last experience is gone through, now this body is unfit. Tatha dehantara praptihi, another body we have to have. Then a new set of experiences will be prescribed. A new lifespan will be prescribed for that body. And that body will be determined by yachittaha tena yesha pranayati. You are telling the driver, I want to go there. And there only the prana takes you, the driver takes you. So prana here is, your prana is the driver. And you are sitting, the owner of this body. I am sitting here. When you say, that I is the owner. And my prana is there. My prana is the bhakti. I have told through my mind. Before it has merged in the prana, the last sankalpa, I told, this is the place I want to go. And beyond that thought also won't occur. God, the mind has merged. No, you cannot think. At that time, for dying, you just put your signature and die. He is not available. You just decide this issue and then go. No, mind is packed. Nothing is possible. It is like you completely packed all your luggage. When a guest comes, you cannot serve tea. Why? Cups are packed. The kitchen is packed. Nothing is possible. You cannot entertain anybody. Like this, the phenomenal death is comparable to that situation. And he is saying, Prasnopanishad is telling, Yachittaha, what is your last direction to the prana? The driver. Tena yesha pranam ayati. He simply identifies himself, like the owner identifying himself with the driver. Because he no further direction. He simply relaxes. As if he has merged in the driver. The driver is taking him. There are no two personalities at that time. No further direction from him. He simply relaxes. That's all. So we also relax. We merge in the prana. Last time. The last sankalpa. Yachittaha tena yeshaha pranam ayati. You become one with prana. And prana remains saha tejasa yuktaha. You become one with the prana merges in the udana, and udana is expressing itself as temperature in the body, and the temperature goes. At that time, means immediately doctors declare that the body died. Then where you go? Yatha sankalpitam lokam nayati. According to your sankalpa, you are taken by the driver. Prana is there, so it is in that context you have to understand that God, every soul is Vayu Vahanaha. At the last time you are taken, carried by Vayu. Vayu. And so your vehicle is, ultimate vehicle is Prana. And with the Prana only you have come. You enter into that, through Prana only body is formed in the mother's belly. Prana only is bringing you there. Just to see how the journey is coming. With the Prana only you have gone. With the Prana only you are coming. And the Prana only is designing your body. Further, no further description is, no further orders are there at that time. When you will open up, only by that time, Aksharabhyasa time, if you remember, you were a great person. When you have first come to know about your life here? Certainly you don't know the time of birth. You are certainly born. You don't remember that. Why the mind is in passive condition at that time? You don't know. When you are available to function as a man, the mind must come out of the packages. You have to enter into that only when the house is complete. The legs are there, but the legs are not able to walk. We see the child. Hands are there, they are not moving in the direction in which we want the hands to move. House is, everything is ready, but nothing is ready. So on these lines you please think. Now Upanishad is telling, this is how, what determines is the last sankalpa. What direction you have given to prana. What is that last thought with which you departed from this body? So you remember in this context those three significant verses, 5th, 6th and 7th of the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Paramatma is telling, no verse in Gita can stand unless they are supported by the verse, a similar authority in Upanishads. Because this is a Shruti, this is Veda, and that is a Smriti from memory. He just wrote a précis of all the Vedas that he had written in the form of 700 verses. So Veda Vyasa derives authority for his statements from the Upanishads. If there is any statement in Gita anywhere which is repugnant to the content of a scripture, well, that will be discarded by our sages. Fortunately, it is not there, because he is Sakshat Keshava, or Sakshat Paramatma. And so such a mistake will not happen from his hands. Vyasa is not a small person. Sarvadruk Vyasaha, Vachaspatihi, Ayonijaha, Vishnu Sahasranama, he says, Krishna Paramatma, what is the name of Mahavishnu? One of the 1,000 names is Vyasa. Vyasa is not a small person, Vyasa is Mahavishnu. Devaspruk Sarvadruk Vyasaha, Vachaspatihi, Ayonijaha. Such a person Vyasa had come and become. Shankara Sakshat. Keshava Bhavarayana. Bhavarayana to this Vyasa is Sakshat Keshava. So our driver is a phenomenon, you just remember. Memory is the Nandi in the Shiva temple. Nandi's direction is a very significant thing. In the stone, through the stone they have told you. They have any number of lessons are just nothing before that the exhibition in that through the stone. What is the position of Nandi? That should be the position of your Chitta in this temple. Why? At the last time, what order you have given to the prana, there he will be carried. In normal life also, what direction you give to the driver, there only he carries. Having given the direction, you simply remain there relaxed, completely unconcerned. Because you know that the driver is faithful person. And he carries you. Same thing happens at the time of, what happened throughout the life happens at that time also. And the prana gives you that body and then finally tells you, now this is the place, this is the body, now function. And you enter and all your equipment comes to function and you function like a man, a great person, because you brought forward all your faculties from the previous day. All your faculties. He is being carried. The owner of the car only is carried. He has got all the qualifications, all the 27 items are traveling with him. Yachittaha tenaisa pranamaya yadha sankalpitam lokam nayati adhastodhvam prasudastasya shakha gunaprabuddha visaya pravana 15th chapter, 2nd verse. Adhastodhvam prasudastasya shakha. All people cannot have equal sankalpa. With the car you are going to a club, with the car you are going to the temple, with the car you are going to a satsang, with the car you are going any number of places. So similarly here, the driver is there with this, through this body, you have to go to God. That is why it is in that context, Shariram Nathamekatu. This body in Kathopanishad is described as a chariot. And God is there, and so he is to go. Radha ja Radha. Every Jagannath has got a Radha. Every temple has got a temple chariot. Similarly, you have to understand that God is occasionally put there and then he comes back. And then he is there. In the Ratha, he is being shown as if he is moving in the Ratha. We are also moving in this Ratha. The Ratha Yatra is complete, it is Digvijaya, it is a victory and successful Ratha Yatra when you can, at the last, with this last Sankalpa, through continuous Samsmarana, Ishvara Samsmarana, you can just culminate your journey by becoming God, by merging with the Supreme Reality. That is that. Now please repeat. Next, the last verse. Yayevam vidvan pranam veda nahasya jahilate amruto bhavati desha shlokaha yayevam vidvan